Today on the 2015 Pursuit Challenger 5.7 Hemi, we're going to unbox the JLT Cold Air Kit from American Racing. And this installation is not too bad. Shouldn't take no one about 20-30 minutes, providing you got the right tools. We're going to get to this together. So let's do the unboxing. See what all comes. Challenger Charger. They do Mustangs too, but if you have a newer performance vehicle, you definitely want to give American Muscle a check, because they pretty much got everything you need. So it comes in a kit, a replacement clamps. This is the filter. I went with the oil embedded filter. You don't have to change them as often as the paper element. And when you do change them, you're just rinsing them out. So you got another tube that replaces the factory plastic tube. This is actually the baffle. Keep some of the heat off of the filter into your clean air charge. I believe this is a mass airflow tube and a silicone elbow. And that is all in the box. So we put the box to the side. We're going to follow directions. After I grab the direction pack, and that was in here with the hose clamps. Start to put this stuff neatly so I don't misplace anything. So, yeah, this is the instructions. We're going to go into the JLT instructions just to make sure that we're doing it correctly. Alright. Want to make sure you got everything. Intake pipe, the PCV grommet, rubber elbow, heat shield, clamp, different sizes. You're going to need a 5/16 nut driver, 10mm socket, and a ratchet. So why don't I just stop and go get the required items, which is a 5/16 nut driver with a 10mm socket. Alright, I got them, but I'm going to use the battery operator ratchet handle. Save down some time, cut down some time. So, first thing I want you to do, remove the engine cover by pulling up and removing the stock intake from the throttle body to the airbox. And before we do that, I want to loosen the clamp. Leave this with a 5/16 coming. Speed up the assembly process. Oh, it's nice and quiet. No planes are passing over. No neighbors asking me what am I up to. So this was the 5/16. And I'm loosening the clamps. For now, I want you to separate this. You wiggle it back and forth until it comes apart. And as you can see, it's apart. I'll take it from both ends. I'll deal with that grommet sensor in a second. Next thing I want you to do one bolt on the airbox and clamp at the throttle body. Unplug the IAT sensor and the PVC line. Move it from the car. So you just want to be careful with these connectors. You always got to figure out which way. So you push down on the gray clamp. And this sensor I'm actually going to take out later. They want me to get that out now, but I'll get that out later. Now let's get this airbox off. Alright. They're actually calling for me to take this box off, so we'll do that. Oh, I see what they're saying. There's one bolt here. You take it out. It's a 5/16. It's a long bolt. And I'm just going to disconnect this hose. I should have a pair of gloves on. See what you have to disconnect it from the easiest. Let me get a pair of gloves on. Okay, so I just used a little flat screwdriver, peeled the hose off. This box should come straight up and out, and it did. Very nice. Just put this on the side for now. I'm gonna get the shield for the cold air kit. Put that in place. I'm gonna grab the instructions. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but sometimes you do. You think you know it all, and you find out you missed a step, and you got to go back and redo something that if you paid attention to the instructions, you would only done it once. So we'll do it together. But I'm sure that was the next step, to just go ahead and sit this down in the hole, and believe this has a little tab that it sits in. Yeah. That's what it is, you know. Let me just double check where they want the tabs on this box to go to fall into. I was supposed to put a grommet in there. That'll work. See? That's why you always got to pay attention to the instructions. You find that grommet they want me to use. I believe this is the puppy. And I'll grab the camera and see exactly what I'm talking about, so you can see what I'm talking about. This piece goes in that hole, but you got to put the grommet in first. So, if it fights me, I like to get one in first, worm it in, and if you have to, get a flat screwdriver and finish the job. That went down effortlessly. So now we're going to try to fit this back in. I'm not sure where they want this to fall. There's some wires there. I'll have to move the wires. Get this to fall in that grommet. Yeah, I believe that one bolt probably holds this back in place. Let me see if I can grab that one bolt that came out of there. Take the bolt and put it back in there. What I'm going to do is grab the instructions to make sure that's what they want you to do. So grommet is in. Hole is there. Yes. Just going to tighten that down. take the IAT sensor out from the stock tube and insert it in the hole in the rubber elbow. So let me gently get this IAT sensor out of here. Definitely don't want to break it. So the instructions say the IAT sensor will be tight, and they are very accurate. You want us to use caution, so I will do the best I can. Getting the sensor out. Try to, oops, it didn't sound good. Oh, yeah, I think it twists. You know what? I'm gonna be very careful because my IAT sensor twisted. I'm glad I just seen that. As soon as I get a small screwdriver. Let's see if I can show you what I'm talking about. They were saying pry it out, but I noticed an arrow is there, twist in. So let me get a small flat screwdriver. All right, I'm back. On the 2015 Pursuit, I shouldn't have been prying it out. I mean, I didn't. I heard it make a funny noise, but on mine, it unscrews. And once you unscrew it, it comes right out. It twist locks in there. So very important. Don't pry it out like they said. Check your application thoroughly, because what you don't want to do is cause a problem like that. Now, let me just double check and see where you want it to go. Sit filter into heat shield area. Okay, so according to them, this sensor will just go in. Could that be possible? It appears to be, but still exercise caution. Yeah, it went right in. I'm just going to orient it the same way it was in my stock application. So the grommet was, the tab was up, straight up. So I'm glad I test fitted it. I had it backwards. It's like that. Okay, that'll work. Very careful with that sensor. Each application is different. Loosely install the rubber elbow into the clamps on the JL tube to the heat shield and throttle body. Use a supply PVC hose to make connections between the driver's valve cover. Okay. One of these tubes has a hose connection, and I believe it's this one. But I see something definitely different. And let's see what's going on with that. I'm gonna have to look for it. It's supposed to be a nipple in the kit. is on the hose itself. Okay, so the hose that was on the vehicle comes off. Understood. So you're looking for the hose that comes with the kit. It has a nipple that goes in. And we're going to fight this thing to get this guy in here. Okay, wasn't too bad. It's time to install some clamps. And I'm going to have to get the hose off this side of the motor. I took it up the wrong side. Grab it and twist it until it comes off. You may have to use a screwdriver just to get it to lift a little bit. As I was saying, you're just gonna have to use a little discretion on how you get the hoses off, because they've been on the vehicle, you know, like heat, and they're gonna fight you. So that's the old hose, which was baked on. I'm thinking I should get the hoses on, hose clamps on first. So that hose gets replaced with this hose. Just be patient, you gotta get it. Okay, hose is on both locations. Just make sure they're on tight. It's a little cold outside, so it's fighting me just a little bit. So I'll run the vehicle for a little while and things start to warm up. I'll okay. Alright, we're coming down to the home stretch. I just got to get the clamps, 2 clamps in the filter. This install is completed. Let's start it up to see if it's sounding any different too. Put on the curved hose with the IET sensor in it. Put the clamp on first. I do believe I'm going to have to use some clamps that came. The kit only came with 2 clamps. I got a feeling I'm going to need these clamps that came with the car as well. Yep. Hang 10. Just make sure you have the proper amount of clamps needed. Hose clamps. The kit came with 2, but I had to use the 2 that was on the factory setup to complete the install. Of course, this thing's gonna fight me. Alright, I put the elbow on the throttle body first, but I recommend that you put the elbow on the extension first. Alright, I struggled with the kit for a little while. I don't know, because it's cold. Most likely because it's cold. so the rubber is not as pliable as it should be. I found I had to disassemble everything that I had, the way the instructions had me set it up. I had to disassemble it because nothing was fitting. Like I would get one hose clamp on, I couldn't get the other one on. I couldn't get the fitting to go inside the hose clamp. So again, like I said, I had to use a combination of hose clamps that were on the vehicle because the kit only provided 2 and I needed a total of 3. So no biggie. I had to take everything apart. I pulled that IA sensor out because I didn't want to damage that. Manhandling these clamps and hose combinations. So I'm just gonna try to get things where they need to be. Just set it up really, not go too tight because I'm gonna have to adjust things left or right. Something's telling me to fight the filter on the end of this tube because that's gonna be the next project. Actually, it's not a bad fight. It went right on. So I'm gonna go ahead and put things back in place so we can wrap this up. I'm losing daylight. And again, I went with the pre-oiled filter. You don't have to change it as much. And when you do, you don't need a new filter like the Paper Element. The Paper Element calls for you to have a brand new filter. This one you can just wash it and reuse it. So once I get this one on, placed in, I got a feeling this filter goes in the box. I think that's how this goes because it's not really going on. Like I can just see. You gotta make sure that the filter's completely on this tube, and it is. So let me go ahead and try to tighten stuff down. Make sure the filter's on right and it's set the way it needs to be on there. And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about when you get this kit. You just gotta do the best that you can because they don't tell you everything you need to know. Again, I'm just gonna loosen up these clamps and set this where it needs to be. Yeah, looks good. For the most part, just tighten it up and I'm done. This clamp up a little bit more. Yep. It's a little questionable right there, but I guess that's not going anywhere. I'm not blocking camera. So all I'm doing is reinstalling the hose that I took out. That goes in the tube because I couldn't get under the clamps on. And that's going to a rubber grommet. Okay, that's back in where it needs to be. And I just gotta put the IE sensor back in. And clock it the way it was. It was up. Connector back on. Okay. I'm just gonna double check everything, make sure it's tight. The instructions say don't go crazy. Tighten up everything on this plastic kit, but I'm just gonna snug it. Okay, rock it, double check it. It's nice and tight. And start it up and see if it sounds any different. Sorry about the camera movement. I'm not sure about that. If I don't like that, I can always put a piece of rubber in there to keep it from bouncing around. Let me start the vehicle up and see if I can hear any difference. Sometimes they say the cold air kit makes the engine louder. Make sure I got the keys to the car. Give it a start. See what it sounds. Alright, just gonna wrap up the JLT cold air kit in there. The only thing I'm gonna probably find is a piece of rubber to keep this thing from bouncing around. Other than that, sound more aggressive when I gave it throttle. That's gonna wrap it up.